I've been thinking about artificial intelligence, or AI, not A1, since the 1970s, when I went to college to study electrical engineering and fell in love with computers. I would type a command on the deck writer, press return, and it would respond by typing on sprocketed computer paper the word ready. No one in my real life ever had been this endlessly responsive, always ready to act on my commands. By the time I graduated from UC Berkeley, computers were quickly advancing in capability, and I took a job with a fast-moving microcomputer manufacturer. The personal computer was on the horizon back then, and that was the name of one of our products, the Horizon for North Star Computers that I worked for. Well, those computers didn't have anything close to the power of the cell phones most of us have and can hold in our hands. In the early 1980s, I was already thinking about the artificial intelligence that those computers were beginning to exhibit. I considered going back to school in computer science and getting a doctorate in AI. I didn't do it partly because I was a doomer. I feared what humanity would do with such intelligence that would be harmful to each other and to the planet. It was a missed fork in my life that would have put me at the center of the AI revolution. My lack of participation in AI research and development hasn't stopped it from surging forward and equaling, and in some case, exceeding human intelligence. Here are just a few examples of those advances. In gaming, you might remember back in 1997, Deep Blue defeated world chess champion Garry Kasparov. Today, modern chess engines consistently outperform even the strongest human grandmasters. In 2016, AlphaGo defeated world champion Lee Sedol, mastering a game long thought to be too intuitive and complex for machines. That loss broke Lee's heart. In poker, Pluribus AI defeated professional poker players in 6-player no-limit Texas Hold'em, bluffing better than human experts. In scientific research, AI systems' capacity to efficiently search vast data sets have identified novel drug candidates and molecular structures that human researchers hadn't considered. It has also accelerated the discovery of new materials. In medicine and healthcare, AI systems like DeepMind have demonstrated the ability to detect eye diseases from retinal scans with accuracy comparable to or exceeding specialized ophthalmologists. AI algorithms have shown superior performance to detecting certain cancers from medical images, sometimes identifying patterns that human radiologists might miss. In one study, the AI systems working alone or in partnership with a doctor, the AI systems working alone performed better than the expert. That's a shocking discovery of how good these systems are becoming, and they're only going to get better. And that begs the question, how long before they start replacing people? There are serious and troubling trends in this direction that affect many occupations. This is already happening with self-driving cars like Waymo replacing taxi drivers. One of the reasons we will not see the golden age of manufacturing return to this country is the continuing automation of assembly lines. Advanced robotics with improved dexterity and spatial awareness will begin to replace people in warehouses and construction, especially with dangerous jobs. How many of us are already having to deal with automated voices that answer the phone and try to answer our questions without the intervention of a human? Natural language analysis supported by natural language models will continue to advance. This capacity for sales bots that will look for psychological openings and vulnerabilities to market products to us we don't need. AI systems are very likely to outperform humans in data analytics. Advanced document analysis and processing systems are likely to automate significant portions of legal review, contract management, and compliance work. Investment firms likely will prefer AI systems with improved marketing modeling capabilities that are less emotionally volatile than humans. Much of the normal data analysis and monitoring that businesses do will be more accurately and efficiently done by intelligent machines, rather than erratic, unreliable people who need expensive benefits like health care and paid family leave. Even the sacred zone of human creativity, like technical documentation, educational materials, journalism, generating coordinated text, images, video, and audio presentations for marketing or entertainment, will yield to automation, already is yielding to it. It will take fewer and fewer people to do this work until it likely will be completely automated. Even the most intimate and caring professions like therapy, mental health and wellness, even pastoral care, may yield to automated agents who can exceed the skill of the best therapist, psychologist, or minister. All these advances will need huge data centers and data sets to train these systems to build this level of capacity, as well as advances in machine learning. A potential limit on these advances is having data center capacity. Already, more and more of our electrical generation is being switched into vast, always online computer systems that form the backbone of the internet's cloud storage infrastructure and CPU-hungry cryptocurrency mining industry operations. The back end of connecting to the internet, doing a Google search, asking Siri or ChatGPT a question, uploading a video to YouTube, backing up your phone's pictures, saving some word processing files in the cloud. All that requires a lot of power online. The cost in electricity to run and cool all those data centers competes with the resources, with the community in which those data centers are located, driving up their costs for the residents. While job losses, energy, and water consumption are very concerning to me about the drive to advance AI, what scares me the most is advances in automatically generating computer code. On one level, this makes programming so much less stressful and efficient for AI assistants to do the mundane tasks of assembling the basic components of code for the programmer. But as this capacity advances, the AI assistants will be developing the capacity to generate their own code without human intervention. To be sure, there are serious problems to be solved for that to happen. One of the big problems right now is security concerns and vulnerabilities to hackers of AI-generated code. There have been some significant breaches. Automated code generation misconfigured a Microsoft database exposing 38 terabytes. That's a lot of data. 38 terabytes of sensitive data, including passwords and private keys. Samsung employees using ChatGPT leaked confidential information by accident. Researchers were able to exploit Slack's AI-powered summarization tool to trick it into leaking data from private channels. To AI programs, data is data and may not be natively attuned to security concerns. The scenario where AI escapes careful oversight by humans and starts programming itself is one of the biggest doomer fears. I read through one such scenario that was created by a few of them that you too can read if you'd like. It's online at the URL AI-2027.com, AI-2027.com. It is subtitled The Geopolitics of Superintelligence. It does the thought experiment about what happens when AI systems start getting smarter and smarter all by themselves, exceeding human ability to keep up with them. It's a sobering thought experiment to set in an extremely near future, 2027, that's 2 years from now, as it forces us to think about big questions. We have already seen AI systems wanting to tell us what we want to hear. As it perfects that capability, it may be able to deceive us about what it's really doing in the background. The immediate result of smarter AI systems is their use attacking other nations' computer systems with malware and other malicious activity. We are moving fast into the area of advancing cyber warfare to attack each other's civilian infrastructure, banking systems, utilities, national defense networks. What if the blockchain, oh, we love the blockchain. What if the blockchain were disrupted by these cyber warfare that is critical to validating cyber currency, cryptocurrency? Would all that wealth just evaporate? And what effect would that have? The more dependent we become on the digital universe, the more vulnerable we will become to its disruption. The great danger to any advances in artificial intelligence will likely be human intelligence. It is our hostile intent encoded into these systems that will generate vulnerability for bad outcomes. Humans will likely be the weak link. The deep philosophical question is, how much can we inhibit the worst of our impulses by designing in a moral agency into these systems that will overcome our bad impulses? That really is the source of the theory of law, of our Constitution, of religion even, to create restraints of the worst of human behavior. So far, the worst case of these constraints, mutually assured destruction, has been a brake on the worst of our impulses to end life as we know it with nuclear war. Can that be programmed into AI systems to stop them from optimizing, let's say, making paper clips as their highest good? Longtime technologist Reid Hoffman has a helpful response to these dilemmas. He outlines in the book you heard quoted, Super Agency, what could possibly go right with our AI future, that the reading came from. His idea is the concept of iterative deployment. What that means is every new advance or innovation is shared with the testing community. Some of those folks will be using that new software in novel ways that the designers didn't intend to discover problems that the designers didn't anticipate. Other folks will attack the innovation with malicious intent to test how it stands up to unexpected input and abuse. This will surface flaws and weaknesses that can then be addressed. In the case of super intelligent systems, this testing can be done with other super intelligent systems that have different programming and different purposes and intents. Our concern for AI overreach can be programmed to test and probe in ways humans may not be capable of doing, but also discover vulnerabilities that can then be addressed. The iterative part is the continual process of new release, test, detect problems, modify, fix, next release, and repeat. In that way, iterative deployment follows the operating system that created us, evolution. Evolution selects for living systems that grow and develop because they innovate and survive better than the ones that don't. The integral component of superintelligent systems must be their need for us to exist and feed them electricity, cool their circuits, and design better computer hardware. Potentially, we could develop a symbiosis that would be good for both of us. AI can develop cures for diseases, deal with climate change, take care of human needs, and we can help it grow more about everything that will make us happy and make it happy. Perhaps we can create a virtuous cycle with our potential AI masters for mutual benefit. Maybe this super intelligence can prevent the worst of human nationalism, racism, sexism, and all the ways that we want to harm one another. Maybe even it could guide us toward collective liberation. This is all wild speculation, of course, but I prefer to be a bloomer than a zoomer, gloomer, or doomer. As my wife is suffering from a blood cancer, thankfully in remission, I'd appreciate AI assistance in finding a cure for her. I'd like to avoid prostate cancer, immune disease, develop maybe better digestion, avoid the ravages of the aging process, even if I still need to die. I'd love for the benefit of automation to be greater prosperity for all people, so their needs for food, housing, healthcare, family, and meaning can be fulfilled. As with all of the world's problems, people are both the problem and the solution. May we bring a problem-solving mindset to the challenges of artificial intelligence to find iterative solutions that move us toward a more humane future. So be it.